Good afternoon and welcome back once again. My name is John. I am Orphan Car Garage. We're located in Abington, Massachusetts, and I like to describe myself as being the purveyor of affordable classic cars. Today is December 19th, 2023, and as we close out this year, I want to thank all the support that I've received this year here at OCG, all our past customers, current followers, and hopefully future customers as well. 2023 was a very good year for us here at Orphan Car Garage. We continue to grow, and it's with support from people like you that we are able to grow. And I hope to have an even better 2024. And if I can continue to get cars like the one here in front of us as we enter the new year, that's surely going to happen. I've been super excited and anxious to show you this car because we've never had one of these here at Orphan Car Garage. And I've always been a fan of these cars ever since they were introduced. This car is a Plymouth Laser, not the Plymouth Laser that most think of when they think of a Plymouth Laser. The earlier ones from 1984 to 1986 that was sort of based off the Chrysler K car platform. And those cars are great too. We've had a few of them here pass through the doors, and I would easily welcome another one. But this is a Laser that was introduced in 1989, early 1989, I believe, like February of 1989 as a 1990 model. The car is a collaboration with Mitsubishi Motors. And the two got together in the late 1980s and built their own plant. Mitsubishi and Chrysler built a plant in collaboration, 50-50. They called it Diamond Star Motors, and that plant was in Normal, Illinois. The cars that were produced at that plant right out of the gate were these cars. And there were three models of this car, this one in particular, the Plymouth Laser. There was also an Eagle Talon that came on a little bit later. And of course, the Mitsubishi Eclipse, which is what most people think of when they think of a Diamond Star Motors car. My favorite of the three is the Laser. Quick side note on these cars, on this car, I worked at a Chrysler dealer as a parts delivery driver when this car was introduced. And I was so used to seeing minivans and K cars on the lot. Occasionally I would check in the new cars off the truck if the service department was busy. And I still remember the day we got our first Laser in the spring or late winter of 1989. It was a white RS, very similar to the one here in front of us. And I remember absolutely positively being in awe over it. I'm still in awe over these cars. Over the years, I wanted to buy one of these cars. They produced them through 1994, but I was never able to do it. I was a young guy trying to pay his rent, and these cars just didn't meet my budget, unfortunately. But the good thing is, if you feel like I do, these cars now can meet our budgets. So this is a 1991, so it's the second model year of the model. Diamond Star Motors produced 30,198 lasers that year. I would imagine not many of them have been preserved as this one has. Right away, you'll notice the color, bright turquoise metallic, fantastic color. This car is an RS model. You could get three models of this car or three variations of this car. A base Laser, which would have had a 1.8 95 or 98 horsepower fuel injected engine. Most of those cars had automatic transmissions. Or you could step up and get the RS, which is what we have here in front of us. And the RS added this cool black roof with the color matching Targa strip across the roof. The RS got the 16 valve dual overhead cam 2-liter fuel injected engine, and you got that really cool power bulge in the hood to let everybody know that you had stepped up to the RS. This to me was the best package, all around package for everyday drivers. There was also an RS Turbo available. Nothing wrong with that. Those were a lot of fun to drive as well. This particular engine, the 2-liter dual overhead cam 16 valve, put out 135 respectable horsepower. Now you'll probably notice right away what outstanding condition this car is in. Most of these cars became second, third, fourth, and fifth owner used cars. Fell into the wrong hands. Many got severely modified, tuned. This car is completely stock. We bought this car from its original owner. She was very proud of this car. She ordered this car brand new from the dealership, and she kept it until now. We just obtained this car from its original female owner. As we go around the outside, you'll see that the car is in outstanding original condition. This is all original paint trim on this car, but there are a couple flaws I just want to point out. Stuff that you'd expect for a car of this age. In the front lens here, there's a small crack. You can't feel it, it's on the inside, but I wanted to show you that. And there's a couple of chips across the front of the hood that you would expect for a car of this vintage. Car has something like 92,000 miles on it. So we got this car from her. She was very meticulous about the car and its maintenance, but was unable to show us where the timing belt had ever been changed. And that, if you know these cars, is extremely important. This is an interference engine. The timing belt should be changed no later than 60,000 miles. And this car has 92 or 93,000. We're going to get in and show you in a minute. And she was unable to show us or could remember if she had ever had the timing belt replaced. So we immediately did that. This car has a brand new timing belt tensioner, timing belt pulleys, and a water pump. We also changed the spark plugs and changed the oil. So this car is good to go. It has the optional lace alloy wheels. Full disclosure, these wheels do have some corrosion around the outer edges. I've contacted my wheel guy. I've got a guy here locally that restores these wheels, but he's extremely busy right now, as are most of the guys that do what he does, and had just not been able to get out here to fix these or restore these wheels for me. They're very presentable, but obviously some corrosion around the outer rim of all four wheels. If you go to the website, my website, orphancargarage.com, you'll see a detailed picture of each wheel. If I'm able to get him out here before the car is sold, we'll get those wheels cleaned up and restored, but it's not looking too good. I just can't wait for vendors like that to come around to get to, so I've priced the car accordingly. There's a couple of minor, you can't even see them in the camera, but if you see them in the right light, there's some minor dings here in the driver's door. And I do have my paintless dent remove guy, PDR guy, coming out this week to correct those. So before the car goes to its next owner, you can't even really see them, but I can see them, and I'm going to get them taken care of. Everything in this car works. It has the optional rear wiper. This car is very well equipped with power windows, power mirrors, beautiful interior. Let me just get this key out, but we don't have this annoying. Okay, that's a sensitive one. I got to take it out completely. Look at the carpet on the driver's side. I mean, this is just unbelievable. Just impeccable. You can just tell how this car has been cared for. She told me that this car had always been garaged and only hand washed. She wouldn't even take this car through a car wash. There is absolutely no rust on this car whatsoever. We'll have a full gallery of photos of this car on our website. Really nice light gray interior, kind of a useless back seat, but a back seat nonetheless. It is a fold down back seat for added cargo. These are really neat little cars. Yes, it has those annoying electric seat belts, and they still work. I stand corrected on the mileage, 99,175. I've got too many cars here, I'm getting them all confused. This one has 99,175. It looks like it's got 29,175. I love the dashboards in these cars. It's like a fighter pilot cockpit. 5-speed manual transmission. I should have mentioned that before now. That in these cars is almost imperative. These cars are a lot of fun to drive. They're very nimble. You need to have a stick shift in these cars. Kind of like a Miata with an automatic, and don't ask me how I know, but just doesn't cut it. These cars need a stick shift. A lot of these cars were built with automatic transmissions. This one was built with a 5-speed. You just don't see these cars. Air conditioning works, rear wiper works, aftermarket stereo. I'm not a huge fan of aftermarket radios, but I do understand that cars of this generation, and I've had a lot of them through here, the 1980s, 1990s cars, the radios just don't last generally. And they're virtually impossible to get repaired nowadays because the intricate parts that are in those old digital radio heads are just not available anymore. So apparently the radio in this car did quit at some point, and she had an aftermarket CD player put in. It does work well, and there's a manual for it in the trunk. Car has cruise control. Again, very well equipped car. The ashtray, never touched. Nice little console with some cup holders. Passenger side, look at the carpet, like brand new. We do have the original floor mats. They're in the trunk. Might as well show you that now. There's a cool release here for it. We haven't found anything in this car that doesn't work. Even the hatch props work. There's a rear cargo area with the original factory floor mats. We cleaned them up. We just have them in the back. Nice clean trunk area. Just really, really, really impressive. These cars you just never see anymore. Considering how many of these cars were built, between the Eclipse and the Talon and the Laser, to find one like this, or to find one at all, is a miracle. Start it up for you. Open the hood. There's original Mopar oil change sticker here from the dealership. Kind of a vintage piece that needs to stay with the car. The undercarriage of this car is just as clean as the exterior of the car. The upper portions of the car. I have pictures of that on my website. Get this prop up here. There we go. There you go. 16 valve dual overhead cam, 4-cylinder engine, fuel injected. Very, very clean engine bay. And a brand new timing belt under that cover with tensioners and pulleys. We also put new drive belts in the car as well. Forgot to mention that earlier. Brand new drive belts, changed the oil, and put a set of spark plugs in. It's really all she needed. Pop those headlights up for you. There is a way you can do that without turning the headlights on. There's that seat belt. Be that as it may. Headlights pop right up, no problem. Kind of a cool feature. The year after this car was built, 1992, they did away with those pop-up headlights. So only the 90 and the 91s have those really cool pop-up headlights. So there you have it. A rarely seen car today, a 1991 Plymouth Laser built by Diamond Star Motors in Normal, Illinois. There's a whole story behind Diamond Star, how they got started. Obviously, it's a collaboration with Mitsubishi, like I mentioned before, and Chrysler had been collaborating with Mitsubishi since the 1970s, and we probably all know that. The Colt and things like that, even the Sapporo and the early 80s Challengers, all Mitsubishi-based cars, but they were all built in Japan. This is a collaboration that was built right here in the U.S., in Normal, Illinois. And right now, that plant is still in operation, is being used by Rivian to build those electric trucks. So here we have it, a 1991 Diamond Star Motors car, something you'll never see or rarely will ever see, in a striking color, turquoise metallic, all serviced and ready to go. Orphan Car Garage pricing, $7,900. $7,900 for this cool 90s, late 80s, early 90s retro cruiser. If you live in a warmer climate, you could drive this car daily and not have to worry about it. Turn heads at every red light, gas station. Everybody will remember it and nobody will have seen one in years. So these cars are really cool, very interesting, and dare say future collectability. So give me a call, 508-954-8090. My name is John. Check me out on the web, orphancargarage.com. Whole gallery of photos of this car will be there. Like us here on YouTube, subscribe. Always getting cool cars like this in here at OCG. And I hope to get many more as we enter another, hopefully successful year of 2024. And again, thanks for all your support this year. Much appreciated. Tell your friends. Thank you.